And we're rolling. Hey guys, welcome back to A Student of Beauty. My name is Gabby Pasqua, and today we're coming to you from Tokyo. I was too tired to leave the hotel room, so we're doing it from here. So welcome. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am a co-founder of Asob Media and a producer on a new indie documentary series that we are producing. And so we decided that we're gonna do a little bit of a behind the scenes diary, if you will, of our adventures and travels, because everybody seems to ask us what's going on, why we're in Asia for so long, and what we're actually doing. And so why not share a little bit about it with you guys as, I don't know, we kind of learn about different things along the way. The weekly fun fact for anybody who's just tuning in: last episode we shot from Dogo Onsen. If you don't know where that is, I didn't know where it was until we got there, but it's in Matsuyama, which is a city, the biggest city on an island called Shikoku, which is one of the 4 major islands of Japan. You can look it up, check it out. It's actually really cool. They have one of the oldest castles on the island, and to be honest with you, the castles in Japan had been a little underwhelming until I saw this one, and that castle was actually really special. Very steep stairs, but they also they also have the said to be oldest onsen in Japan. For those who like history and bathing culture, it's a must-see because it's the oldest. 3,000 years of fresh running hot spring water. So that's what we were up to this week. We're back in Tokyo, going to be wrapping up our time before we come right back out. So I was inspired to share a little bit on this podcast when I was in the onsen. I was really just not just observing, but just kind of very present. And a few things came to me, if you will, in a little bit of a meditation, and I felt like sharing those things with you. So we're calling this What Onsen Bathing Has Taught Me. So first is that we leave an impact on everyone in a room. It kind of hit me when I was gingerly trying to not make a sound as I saw a couple women just peacefully soaking in the bath. And no matter what, I was making a noise, turning on the water and then to shower and to bathe, every little movement from even just moving the chair, my presence echoed throughout the room. And, it wasn't as silent as it was prior to me coming in. And also when we were soaking in the bath, really the thing that kind of solidified this thought was, when you enter and exit the bath water, there's just an immediate ripple into the water, and sometimes waves. Your presence is felt, whether it be in the room, whether it be coming in and out of the waters. You can't really hide. And for me, it made me realize I can't hide being here. You are very much so present and making an impact and having a presence in front of everybody else. And that kind of translates into everything else that we're doing right now, of no matter what, there is some ripple effect, there is some impact being made. And so no matter what, no matter how many times, sometimes I want to believe that I'm not doing anything that's impactful or I'm not doing enough. I think just showing up to different places, having conversations with different people, and even sharing notes like this into the digital universe is making some sort of ripple, and I hope it's a positive one. So we all leave an impact. Number 2, this is a big one. No matter how much we want to deny this fact, the truth remains that we are all aging. I was sitting in one of the hot springs this weekend, and it was on a Saturday that we decided to go onsen hopping, and we started at the first one at Dogo Onsen because there's 3. Started at the main house at Dogo Onsen, and that main bathhouse was beautiful. It's ornate. It was the oldest one and the original onsen hot spring. And in there was multi-generation, like from grandmas to babies still being carried. Like everybody was in that bath before 8 a.m. And so you saw a multitude of generations. Then we went into the second onsen, which was the Dogo Annex. And in the annex, I recognized that it was mainly like moms and young girls, like kids. So I would say between the ages of like 7 to 9 years old. It was moms and their girls, and it was a beautiful one. Actually, that was my favorite one, just the way that that's a side note. But if you go, the annex was my favorite visually. And then the third one that we went into was, I forget the name of it, but it's the third onsen at Dogo Onsen, and it's the more local one. And in that onsen, I was sharing the waters with primarily a lot of elderly women. And women who were, I would say like 10, 15 years older. I was the youngest one in that onsen. And I think every woman that was in those waters with me was at least like 10 to 15 years older than me. And then up to like, even older than them. So I would say like someone in their like 80s and maybe even 90s. But being in those waters, I think that the bottom line in seeing all the generations, one thing is undeniable, is that we're all headed in the same way. Like we're all headed into aging. We are all headed towards, I don't want to say end of life. That sounds so morbid. It really hit me that no matter what, there's still like more time, and that aging is and should be a beautiful process. But it also made me realize how not ungrateful, but I think, what is that one saying? Time is wasted on the youth because the youth don't know how to spend it. It's really true. I think that dawned on me in the onsen this weekend as well, because I was like, wow, I just wasted how many years of my life freaking out over getting older, wanting to rush through things, thinking that I'm running out of time, when really there is just a certain amount of time to be embraced, that like, and to be acknowledged that we are in our youth and we are young. But also I'm kind of at the age where I'm equidistant to 50 as I am 15. No, as I am 20. Not 25. Wait. I can't do math. It's been long. Wait, how old am I? 20 to 50. I'm equidistant to 20. I'm equidistant to 20 and 50. I'm right in the center. Yes, I'm older than 20, but I'm still younger than 50. And at the end of the day, this is the time to just really embrace it, because I'm really in the middle of that. And we're still young. So anyone in their 30s watching this, you're still young. And anyone who's not 30 and over the 30, you're still young, because today will be the youngest we will ever be. Okay? I heard that somewhere. I don't know where, but it's true. And this goes into my next one. I think I'm tired of hearing everybody freak out over we are getting older. And I think bottom line is, being in that onsen made me realize we're still young. And instead of saying, oh, I'm getting older, I now just want to be like, I'm still young, and I'm going to figure it out, and we're going to enjoy it. We're going to enjoy the ride. We're going to enjoy the ride and not freak out anymore. I think that's what I want to conclude to. Next is, I heard this in another podcast a couple weeks ago when I was traveling, and a creator stated that she heard a quote that said, I don't want normal. And I think the follow-up to that was, I want extraordinary. And I couldn't have heard that at the most perfect time, and it really resonated with me. And yeah, what we're doing right now isn't really normal. Did I think that coming from being a makeup artist into producing indie docs to then starting a podcast and having to show up online was going to be my trajectory? No, I didn't. Is it normal? Not really. Did I plan this? Not really. But you know what? I don't want normal. I want extraordinary. And if this is going to give us new experiences, then whatever, I'm all in. This chapter of my life is very unrooted. And it's not, and I'm not in one place. I was literally saying this afternoon that I don't even know what city I would want to be rooted and grounded in right now, because I don't think that that's what's meant for me in this chapter of my life. And I've been fighting it. I have been wrestling with it, like what should be, like I should be here, or I should be normal. And actually, as this week is starting to wrap out and I'm packing things up and I'm getting ready to go back home to the States, I'm realizing how grateful I am, how even though this is really unrooted and not grounded and just physically not grounded, I think the coolest thing that's come out of all of this is that I've learned how to be grounded within myself, so it doesn't matter my external factors anymore of where I am or what's happening around me. I think I'm really learning how to ground within myself and to be grounded and to seek that presence that I feel like people and I have admitted to needing externally, and I'm really learning how to channel that internally, and I think that that's cool from here. Another thing, because I thought this was really sweet, was seeing communities of like moms and their kids, and it's clear that they're on a trip all together, or like family units traveling. Meaningful relationships, friendships, family relationships, community is so critical for everyone, but I think it's something that I've learned that is almost like is sacred to me in this time. It's gotten really lonely traveling the last couple of years, especially when there's language barriers and you're in a new place and time zones, and I can't, connect with my loved ones at certain times of the day. I think that I will admit to say that relationships, friendships, and community, this has been like a really tender part of my, this has been a very, are you going to move it now? A little bit tender for me. I'm also in a phase of kind of cleaning house a bit, and I don't know how to explain it other than I'm just kind of taking inventory and with myself and what I'm capable of in relationships, because it does go both ways. It takes two, but also sometimes it just takes one, and my capacity is kind of full right now, and a lot of my friendships, relationships have kind of shifted a little bit, and I don't know, it's kind of vulnerable saying it, but I will say that who I've been surrounding myself with, who I've been in contact with, have been very intentional. And it's something, again, that I feel like I'm very tender, I'm very protective right now of the state that I'm in, because like I said before, I don't want normal. I really want to see everything to the fullest, everything that we're doing. I want to see it through. And so what's that saying? You are who you surround yourself with. So if you have friends or family who's feeding you doubt, I've kind of had to put a pause for a second and really lean into the friendships that are in alignment, see the vision clearly with me, can cheer me on. And sometimes, I love this, one of my best friends said this to me, and I use it all the time now. She was like, sometimes I need a little bit of borrowed faith, because sometimes I don't have it in me to fully believe. So I need to lean on my friends who could believe for me when I can't. And that has been so true. And so now whenever I just need a little conversation to like boost my spirits, I'll hit a couple friends up. There's specific friends that I will reach out to just say, I need to borrow a little bit of your faith, a little bit of your belief, because I'm having a little bit of doubts. And having those friends are so important. And so surround yourself with amazing people, because it makes all the difference. Okay. And with that said, if you're looking for a friend, I am too. So I hope that you can stick around for this journey. So what is it that they say on everything? Like, subscribe, share with whoever and wherever. If you don't know who I am, you probably don't, because I haven't really shared at all online. But I'm Gabby Pasqua. I have been a makeup artist. I'm now a co-founder of Asob Media and a producer of an indie documentary series that we can't wait to share with you. And so I hope to keep this podcast up from different places. This week we're in Tokyo, so you're going to get a lot of Tokyo this week. And with that, stay tuned for the next. I hope that this helped you. If it helped me, I don't know. Really, things I learned in Onsen. The things you learn just talking to yourself and staring at the water, trying not to bother everybody. So thanks. Anyway, okay, thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Was that good?